It's ridiculous. This little car, the thing is going to be keeping the wheels on the ground. What is going on? This is Altone, and today here I am sitting here with my Holystone H16E with the 16150 chassis. I actually had to figure out what that chassis was. Actually, I had to go back in the parts and look it up. But part of the reason why I chose this particular chassis is because one, is one that me and Steve both have, but the other reason why is because there's so many different vehicles that are using the exact same chassis. I was looking around to see what other vehicles I had. Yeah, if you go over to Altone Tech, you probably have seen this guy. It's the Besgar, very long name on this one. I'm trying to remember the model number and whatnot on this guy, but this is also built off the exact same chassis. Then I have this one from EZRC, which is Colorado. You've probably seen this one already as well. I love this car. This one also is built on the same chassis. The motor size should be 2845, but I don't know if the motors on these guys have the same KV rating. And I do know that I have a Hosham back on my shelf over here that actually is using the same chassis as well as one. My Hyper-Go buggy uses the same chassis. They're just so available, and I figured this is perfect because if anybody wants to join in and see, and challenge themselves to see what they can get out of this particular vehicle, I think that's going to be phenomenal. With that, like I said, you can put whatever size battery that you can actually fit in this guy. You're welcome to put them in there. Change out the ESC, change out the motor to another. I mean, even if it's a larger motor than a 2845, if you can find gearing. One of the things I will ask you too is if you are sharing video, also share what you used in order to get that speed out of the vehicle. If you purchased additional products and whatnot in order to make that happen. Like, again, transmitter. This transmitter from Dumbo RC is the one I'm going to be using to run this guy. It gives me a lot of control. Not sure how much that's going to help or not, but because I had it and I wanted to use it, and I want to do a review on it, I decided to go ahead and use that on this vehicle, and I think it's working out great. I did use some 3M two-sided tape, automotive two-sided tape, to put it on there, and that's great. So, speaking of which, when we're talking about putting a larger battery in, I'm looking at smaller 3S batteries because I want to keep it light to see if that helps with the speed or not. It may cause it to lift up off the ground. I don't know. I'm speculating about a whole lot of stuff right now. But I wanted to be able to fit a 3S battery in there, and Steve has already threw a 3S battery in there. I'm looking for his video to come out, if it hasn't already, with the actual official speed on it. But this is a thick battery, and it doesn't work with the stock tie-down strap. But what I noticed from one of my other vehicles, my Hyper-Go buggy, is the same chassis, but they actually have a battery tray in there that's screwed down. And I was like, wow, got a battery tray. That's a thought, because that allows you to use Velcro straps to hold on your battery. Could I just throw some Velcro in the bottom of this battery tray the way it is and put Velcro on my battery and put it in there? Yes, I could. But because I am actually using Onshape, and I'm learning Onshape because I'm doing a whole lot of projects and stuff around, as well as working on building and designing my RC plane, which I've talked about briefly, but I haven't had time to really get into it. I'm learning Onshape and went ahead and in Onshape took the measurements and designed myself a battery tray that would allow me to use a Velcro strap on the battery so I could put it in this car. I also wanted to be able to put the antenna on and have it held in place. And I'll try to share, if I can figure out how to do that, I'll share my account on Onshape so you can see some of the stuff that I'm actually working on and designing. That's what I'm doing. And so I've redesigned the battery tray. I mean, it fits in here perfectly. So your steering goes into the battery tray, so you want to be careful with that. And your receiver sits here. Unless you move your receiver to a different area, your receiver sits here. And so I wanted to be able to run this battery tray in here, have it fit perfectly, and it does. I was able to get this right on point. I'm going to hot glue this guy down, and we're going to take the original arm off and then try to do a speed run with the 3S battery soon. Don't know if you're going to see that in this video or not, but I really just wanted to try to just talk to what I'm doing here and why I'm doing it. Steve is a robot builder. He builds battle bots with Team Junkyard Dog, which is his son and I believe another friend, a close friend of his. And they go out and do battles and tournaments and stuff like that. So he designs and builds the bot. I'm assuming he's using, well, he 3D prints a lot of his parts, and I'm assuming he's using some type of CAD software to do the design. And I think that's great. And I'm trying to learn. I'm an engineer at heart. It just happens to be the way my brain thinks. I like to see how things work. Now, with 3D printing, available CAD programs that are free, like Onshape, so many of these things, I can now sit down, come up with an idea in my head, and work out a design for it the way I used to as a kid. I used to have notebooks of schematic diagrams, and I actually tried to design back when I was a kid, I took one of my Transformers and tried to build or design a full life designed version of a Transformer. How would he walk? What would he need for his joints? And how would all of that work? I used to sit down and do all of that. Didn't have video games, didn't have a whole lot of TV to watch. That's the stuff I used to do. There's so many resources out there now that I get to really kind of develop my knowledge and understanding of those things, and even use them in my home to create things that we might need that we might not be able to find, that's going to be beneficial to us, tools that we can use around the home in some way. And then doing stuff like this, and this stuff helps me to learn. I absolutely love it. So just wanted to share with you what the kind of the thought process behind doing this challenge was. It's a matter of allowing me to learn some things and share that experience with you, and hopefully inspire you to actually start building and designing, especially if you're much younger than me, and take advantage. I mean, video games are great, but to sit down and actually work through and design some of these things, I think is phenomenal. And if you're my age or older, you happen to be retired, or you just looking for something to take your mind off of the stresses of life, and be able to focus and concentrate on something and do something that you might consider productive. And this I hope that I inspire you to find that thing that works for you and do it. Just do it. I mean, what is it? What can it possibly hurt for you to spend some time developing a skill and learning how to do something that you may not have? Taking advantage of some of the technology that we have available to us right now today. I mean, what does it hurt? So just wanted to share that with you. That's just my little... Just me being me, I guess. Hope that I hope that I provide some type of inspiration to you, and I hope that you enjoy this hanging out in it and seeing what we're doing here, or what I'm doing here. Hope that you get something out of it that's positive and impactful for you in some way. If I have done any speed runs, I'll make sure that I follow this video up with a couple of speed runs. I may have started the video with a few just so that you had the opportunity to see something other than just me talking. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Make sure you drop down in the comments if you have any thoughts or ideas about what I'm doing. Help me to learn, and hopefully we'll learn something together. Have an absolutely fantastic day. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. So we're going to ease on the throttle this time. Wow. She rips. So with that tumble, I was able to get her up to 50 miles an hour. That wasn't even a full run. If I give it too much throttle, she's ridiculous. So we're gonna see if we can get her past 50, but that was awesome. We're gonna try another run. Definitely a lot more power. I did not do a good job of keeping those front wheels down, and I was losing a lot of I'm sure losing a lot of speed because I was losing the traction. Try again. Wow. Did she make it? Let's bring her back. So right now we're still tracking a top speed of 50.5 miles per hour. All right, according to the computer, after I finally got things figured out, I got 50.71 miles per hour out of this guy this time, just by, just by changing out the battery and upgrading the radio. Now I don't know for sure, let me see. So these two were today. This was the last one. I actually increased by 20 miles an hour on the same strip just by doing those two things.
Coming, but I was never expecting anything that tiny.
I know. I wasn't expecting for you to come out either, but sorry about that.
No problem. I've seen you over here playing with it.
All right. Yeah, I want to see how fast I can get this one to go. Have a good one. So that's the end of this video. I'm sure it's long enough. If you're still watching, I really appreciate you. I do believe that I actually, after reviewing all of the data from my phone, actually got to 50.7 miles per hour. But we're gonna have to do a verification of that and do what would be considered a more official speed run in the future. Thanks so much for stopping by and checking this out with me. I really do appreciate you. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.